Hello, it's Crafty Carol here again with yet another project for you. And this time I'm making what I'm calling a pop-up card gift holder. So it looks like an ordinary card. I'm using the gorgeous Irresistible Blooms suite again. But when you open it up, it's got these pop-up bits, which hopefully are difficult to show on a camera, but hopefully you can get the idea of these. They actually will lie flat there, so they pop up like this, and there's a space here to write any message you want to write in your card. I'm going to show you a different way to do it. And the gift I've put in here is a little bookmark, but you could use it for money, you could use it for a gift card or anything else. And this was a card that I first saw made by the lovely Connie Stewart in America. And she used 12 by 12 paper for the card. Now, I have been using, as you know from last time's video, I've been using this gorgeous Irresistible Blooms suite, and the Hello Irresistible paper that comes with it is only 6 by 6. So I had to work out how to make the card using 6 by 6 paper. So that's what I'm going to show you today, this pop-up card gift holder. Just to say, I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Northern Ireland. Please do get in touch and sign up to my email if you want to know more about me. So I'm using the Irresistible Blooms bundles. So I've got the gorgeous stamp set here with the flowers and leaves, this lovely dotty background and various nice sentiments. And it comes with the most beautiful set of dies. I've used mine so much, they're all falling off already. And it's got these gorgeous ones, which you saw in last time's video. It's got these leaves that just, they cut an outline leaf. And then you've got the dies that go with the stamps as well, which is just gorgeous. It's a lovely, lovely set. So this is the Hello Irresistible paper. It's 6 by 6 paper. And again, it has some gorgeous pictures on one side and patterns on the other. So I'll go through quickly and show you the pictures on the one side. Oh, look at all these gorgeous colours. And on the other side, just nice background colours, again in the range of colours within this set of papers, which range from the glorious soft sea foam through to one of the new colours, Lost Lagoon, Daffodil Delight, Fertile Flamingo, Petal Pink. A gorgeous set of colours, Evening Evergreen, I think. Yes. I think that's all the ones. Oh, Pretty Peacock, I forgot to mention, yes. Yes, so not Evening Evergreen at all. It's Pretty Peacock and Lost Lagoon, the two greens. Yeah, get mixed up. Anyway, that is the beautiful set of paper. So, to make this card, I've actually done a lot of the preparation. Oop, losing half the bits, hang on. Before we start, because there is quite a lot to this card. So, to start off, what do you need? Well, you need, first of all, a piece of base cardstock, which measures 21 by 14.8, and it's scored in the middle at 10.5, just your usual card base. So that is where we start. That's the simple bit. Let's carry on with the simple bit. We've got 2 layers for the front. Use a coordinating cardstock. In this one here, I've used Fresh Freesia and Blackberry Bliss. So in this one, I'm using Flirty Flamingo, and I'm actually using Daffodil Delight, quite strong colours together. And I'm cutting each of these just 0.5 centimetre smaller than the outside. So my coloured cardstock layer is 14.3 longwise by 10 across, and my basic white layer is 13.8 by 9.5 across, and those are the layers for the front, which we'll deal with in a minute. I have actually already prepared some of the flowers and leaves because you don't need to see me stamp and cut those. Now for the inside, so many bits to tell you about. The first bit is to say we need 2 pieces of basic white, and these are each 14.3 by 10, so the same size as the coloured layer on the front, and they are to fit in here. We've then got 3 pieces of DSP. So the first piece, this main piece, which is actually going to be the main pop-up piece for me, and I've already scored it. I'll show you how to do that. So for this bit, this is 15 by 13.8. Okay, so 15 by 13.8. It's basically 6 inches, cutting a bit off the bottom. So that is going to form the pop-up bit in the middle. I'll talk about that again in a minute. But when we've stuck that in, we're going to have one bit at the front. Now this bit is actually, the whole sheet for this bit is, excuse me, 9 by 13.8. So we have 2 pieces of 9 by 13.8, and I'm using both sides of these. I haven't decided for the middle. I think I might actually use that side for the middle. Yeah, I think I might. And then this is the bit for the back, and this is the bit I'm going to talk about. So when the card is put together, you'll see this in a minute, it basically will look something like this, with these bits overlapping the pop-up bits. Hope that makes some sense. And then your gift goes in here. So those are the bits of DSP you need. So you need 3 sheets of your DSP to make this. And then for your pop-up in the middle, you've got a couple of options. You can either do a single panel pop-up, which I think I might in this card, which will sit like this on the pop-up. Or as in this card, you can use 2 panels and put them either side of your main pop-up centerpiece. So it's your choice. If you want to use this big one, this is coloured card 7 by 11.5, and the basic white is 6.5 by 11. And somewhere I did write the measurements for these, yes. So these ones, the coloured pieces are 6 by 6, and the pieces of white you want for the centre 5.5 by 5.5 centimetres. So that's if you want to do these smaller bits. Okay, so I've already made the bookmark as well. For the bookmark, what did I use for the size for that? Yeah, the coloured cardstock was 4.5 across by 12 deep, and the DSP piece is 4 centimetres wide by 11.5 deep. So that is the bookmark. You just stick the DSP onto the background, and I used another of the bits of the same matching sheet or a very similar sheet, punch a hole in the end and tie some matching ribbon through. I didn't have any thick bits of Flirty Flamingo ribbon. I had some very thin Flirty Flamingo ribbon, so I actually used that instead. Oh, that's a bit of a mess, that end. Let me just trim it. That's better. Don't know why we had a funny end on it. So I've got 4 little bits sitting there. I wouldn't usually have that, but the ribbon seemed to suit being double. Okay, let's get on with making up the card so you can see how we actually do it. So the first thing I'm going to do is stick all of my layers, my basic layers, into the card, because obviously I don't need to stamp these before putting them in, or these inside ones. These are just the backgrounds. So I'm going to stick those in just using some Tombow. And use tape, of course, whichever you prefer. So now the PDF for this, it actually is a PDF that includes the cards from the previous video and this card, and it is available from my online store at craftycarolscards.co.uk, my website. If you go then to the online shop and look for instructional PDFs, you will see it there. You can buy it from the store, and it comes to you as a PDF if you want to have these written down, or you can just copy them from as I tell you during the video. It's up to you. So that's the inside of my card pieces done. I'm going to stick this piece onto the front, and then before we do the white piece on the front, I do need to do some stamping on that, so I shall do that first. I just love this suite. I think it's got the most gorgeous stamps. The paper is just to die for. I really like all the colours in the paper, so that's really good. Let me just concentrate on sticking this on straight. That's it. Finally got it on. There we go. So this piece on the front, I am going to the non-cut side that decorate, and I'm going to stick my sentiment on. And I've actually, because this is going to be a birthday card for my sister-in-law, make the most of these videos and do what I need for the cards I need to send people. So I have used a sentiment that is not from the Irresistible Blooms set. It's actually from my totally favourite Peaceful Moments set, which is retiring, very sad. I should probably keep it though, because I love these sentiments. So I've got happy birthday, and I'm using you, wishing you every happiness, or I might use that actually. I haven't decided yet. Let's see. I think probably have to use the one that fits on the card, but anyway. So for this, I'm going to stamp in the Flirty Flamingo to match my base card, and just sticking my sentiment on the front there. Let me just clean that stamp. And I'm also going to add some of these dots. This is a sort of dotty stamp that comes, but I am going to stamp off. I'm going to make this quite, just get a scrap piece of paper here, ready for that. This desk is huge and I still never have any room. Anyway, so I'm going to stamp up the stamp off, and then I'm going to just dot it round the card in two main areas, which is where I'm putting the decoration of the flowers, and around the happy birthday itself as well, because I want that to just look like that. You could of course put the happy birthday on a separate piece of card, and it's totally up to you how you do the front of this. I decided I just wanted it fairly plain. So I can now stick this to the front, because on that I'm just going to stick my flowers that I've done. And I'll explain about those in a second. Let me just stick this on. I actually stamped and prepared the flowers again, because otherwise this video is going to be really long and all you're going to do is see me stamp and cut things out, which is fairly boring. You can do that on your own. You don't need me to show you that. Now I'm just making sure I've got the card the right way around, because I made a card the other day and I actually stuck the front on upside down. I haven't done that for ages. I was so embarrassed of myself when I saw it. I had to cut it off and stick it on a new card to make the card I wanted. Anyway, I haven't done that this time. I've got it right. And I have actually already stamped these flowers. And I've stamped them in Flirty Flamingo. And then I've coloured them using a mix of Daffodil Delight and on top some Flirty Flamingo. So it's a slightly odd colour in some ways, but it seemed to pick up both colours of the card. I've also stamped, and I don't know if these are going to fit in really. I think they'll be all right. I've also stamped some leaves and cut those out just in Pear Pizzazz, because I want to use that colour before it goes, because it's one of my favourites. But I am not going to stick those on the front yet, because I need my card flat to prepare the middle. So let me just clean this stamp and move them out of the way, and I will show you what we are doing with the middle. Put those there for a minute. So the first thing to do is to get your piece of Designer Series paper that you've already cut to size, which is 15 by 13.8, and you score it. God, I can't speak today. What is the matter with me? And to score this, you're going to score it at 1.5 centimetres, 4 centimetres, 7.5, so that's the middle one, 11 and 13.5 centimetres. So I did that just on my trimmer, or you could use a scoreboard if you've got the metric bit for it. So when you fold this, the outside fold is a valley fold, and the three middle ones are mountain, which means they come towards you. So valley goes away from you, mountain towards you. So I have already folded that. So when you put it together, it looks like that. There, if you can see it just from up above, I think that's probably the easiest way to see it. So I am going to use the plainer side, I think, in here. Now, the key with this is sticking it in the card. And there's two things I want to do before I actually stick it in. The first is that you want to prepare the sheet on the side in which you're going to put the gift card. It's totally up to you whether that goes on the front or the back. I'm putting mine on the front. And when I stick that on top of here, look what might happen. Because I've cut a triangle on that, I am going to have a little bit of DSP sticking out, which probably doesn't matter, but I'm a bit OCD about things like that. I don't like it, so I am just going to, if I can find my scissors, chop that off. So that's just chopping off that corner. So that will make that fit in. So I'm going to show you how you fit this in. You have a centre fold here, and this centre fold lines up with the centre fold in your card. So you want to fold this back on itself, so you're holding it like that, and that is how it is going to sit in the card, okay, so that it will actually lie flat. So how I find the best way to stick this is to fold the middle back on itself. This is where I really should have, hang on a sec. If I was sensible, I would have taken the lid off that first, which I wasn't. Okay, so we line this up where we want it to be. So you've got a little gap at the top and the bottom. Fold it over, fold that flap over, and being very careful only to put glue on that flap, not on the back flap. So I'm just going to put it down the middle here. So I've put glue on that, then I'm going to, keeping the centre fold where it is and keeping that folded down, I'm then going to fold that back over, making sure that I've got my centre fold where it is, and then I can press down. Okay, and that gets your fold in just the right place. And then you're going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to put my glue just on my flap here. Holding that down, holding that together, fold it back over and press. Okay, now I have to just pop up my centre fold again, and look, I have my pop-up mechanism, which does fold flat if you need to write on the card you're going to put in. So that is the pop-up bit done. So now I'm going to stick these pieces in. Now, this piece that you've cut, whether it's front or back, doesn't really matter which way round you want it, but you really must be very careful. Guess what I did the first time I did this? I put glue all over the back, which is really stupid because I've got to have room to slide the gift in. Luckily I realised before I'd stuck it down, so I stuck it onto a blank piece of scrap paper, which is why that one I've just used is cut like that. I stuck it onto the paper and then cut around the paper so I could then stick it in properly. So don't do what I did. In fact, I'm going to actually use tape, some fast fuse, rather than my Tombow on this. I think it's slightly easier usually to control where I'm putting it. So we only want tape or glue down the edges. So down the side edge, across the bottom edge, and up this other side edge. Okay, make sure you leave that centre absolutely free. And then we can put it in, and you want to line up the edge against the centre piece first, and then if you cut your measurements right, you'll see you've got the same gap all the way around. So that gives me my pop-in pocket where I can slide my already prepared bookmark, which I've already made, and it goes in beautifully. So that is for the pocket bit. For this side, you can do one of two things, and I still haven't decided. I'm going to look at it and see. So I can either just stick my piece down like that, which matches and gives me the colour coordinating across. I'm probably going to use my big panel for the centre, so I could write my greeting on that. But if I wanted, I could actually cut this short so that it perhaps only reaches that far across, and then it leaves me a piece to put a greeting and a sentiment there. Or just even leave it like that and leave it blank like that. I don't know. I haven't decided. I think for this card, I'm actually going to... And which way? Which of the sides do I want to use? Oh, this is difficult. I think I'm going to use the pattern side, and I'm going to use the whole thing. So, but this is where you can make your choices. So although I've given you the measurements and the pieces to cover this whole card, you could leave this back bit blank to just to write on there, and just use the center pieces to add decoration pieces rather than anything to write on. Or you can do as I'm going to do on this now, which is to put in the whole piece on the back. So I've covered the back. So now you can see how my pop-up works, just like that. There we go. So to finish it off, as I say, you can either use the two separate ones, in which case you stick one to that one side there and the other one to the other side here, like I did in this first card. So on this one, I stuck this top piece to the left hand side and this bottom piece to the right hand side, so be careful when you stick those down. For this one, I think I am going to actually use the larger piece here. So I'm going to do my stamping first. So I'm going to put my, here's my stamp pad, here we go. So I'm going to use the sentiment from the Peaceful Moments set again, because I just like it. I think it's a gorgeous sentiment for a birthday. So there we have the wishing you happiness. I might just, I could put a little flower in the corner there too. I might just do that. I'll get my smaller flower out. I think we'll just have that in the corner, just because I think it'll look nice. I'm going to have it coming off the corner, so I want some scrap paper behind, because I'm just going to have it here like that. Actually, I will also decorate my envelope. I can find an envelope, there we go. So I just put the flower on the corner there. So I'm going to decorate the envelope too, just by having a flower in the corner. And I'm also going to put a flower on the back. I could use the other way of decorating envelopes. You can put a piece of DSP on the back if you wanted, or I usually just stamp my envelopes, but remember, you do not want a naked envelope. So that's got that done as well while I had the stamp out, which is sensible. Right, let's tidy up a bit and then we can finish this card. So this is my PDF, by the way. I'll just show you this. This is what it looks like, because it's how to make 3 cards and a pop-up gift holder. So you have the cards I made last week, various different ones, and you also have the full instructions for the pop-up card gift holder. I may change the pictures before I publish it actually, and use these as the pictures because it fits with the suite better, but that's just me being fussy and pernickety, which is fine, I'm allowed to be. I've decided as I get older I'm allowed to be these things. So I'm just going to, having stamped that, so I now have the area below that sentiment in order to stamp my greeting. So just to take the colour through, I've used Daffodil Delight. As if you wanted to stay monochrome, you could have used Furty Flamingo. And I think I'll have it on this side. So to stick it on that side, I'll perhaps just use my fast fuse again. Quickly make sure I'm sticking the correct side. Yeah, so I want this side to stick. Oop. So because it lies flat when you open the card fully, I can stick this on, making sure I have the same gap up and down, sticking it right to the edge of my pop-up piece there, and there it is. So here is my really quick and simple pop-up card gift holder. So I've got an area here that I can write my sentiment, and I can lie the card down to do that. And then it's just a matter of finishing off the front by sticking on my flowers. And I shall stick, I always do it this way around. I don't know why, you can do it whichever way around you want really, but I'm going to stick my smaller flower on there. And before it dries, so I can lift up the corner, I want to stick some leaves just under there. There we go. And then for the bigger one, I'm going to use a couple of dimensionals. You can see the colours coming through on the back because I've used blends, which is fine. It doesn't matter because I'm not going to show anywhere. So we'll have that flower there. And finally, my other leaf cluster. There are 2 sets of leaf clusters in the stamp set. You can see I used both here, the 3 leaves and the 2 leaf one. So that is just how I'm finishing off. I might add some gems as well around the corners or whatever, it's up to you. But that is my quick and easy, simple pop-up card, which still means with the pop-up mechanism I can write. So I really like the fact this one lies flat. And I've got here, I'm giving a bookmark, but you could give a gift token, a gift card, or actually some money or whatever in there. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you have a go at this card because it's such an easy card and I just love this set and it's a beautiful one to do. So have a go. Thank you for joining me today. If you're enjoying my videos, please subscribe to the channel and don't forget to go to my website and sign up for my emails so you get all my news. Bye for now.